So we are at the startup camp in Switzerland, and you might have seen that already today a few times. It's not a little puppet, no. It is a tool which helps you to get connected to other people. It works like what? You put it together with someone else, and then it gives you a live slide to show you that you now changed your data. Is it right?
That's exactly it. Actually, we call it the social business card.
A social business card. And you are Stéphane, the founder of that social business card. Tell me, how did you hit on that idea?
Well, I founded Poken a year ago, actually, in December 2007, based on the idea that people nowadays are on several different social networks. In the past, you used to have one main network and perhaps use a few other tools.
It's always a horror to add the people to all the different social networks, and well, for myself, I even don't like it to connect. If I know someone, to connect them to all the networks, because I feel myself like, oh, well, he must feel a little bit. It's a little bit too much, right?
And that's actually really where the idea came from. I realized that with my friends, often I had to ask friends with whom I was already connected on Facebook or on some other network, I had to ask them again for their Skype, for their MSN, for to connect on LinkedIn or on Xing, and coming to the conclusion that actually there was really a need for a tool that would enable us to be connected on all the networks at once, and not necessarily connected immediately on the platforms themselves, but that would at least give us an interface where we can know which networks our friends are on and very easily select the ones that we want to connect with them on.
So there was a real need, and yeah, how did it come to that nice product at the end?
When we studied the business model, the real strength, I think, behind the success of Poken, and it's really taking off in several countries now, in Europe, and we're spreading towards the US and Asia as well, is the fact that we've developed it as a fashion accessory. A lot of startups and a lot of products are developed more for techie, geek market or for early adopters, whereas we figured with a networking product what you really need is for everybody to want one, regardless of if their friends have one or not.
And it's such an icebreaker, huh? You see the people here around and I go, oh, you have also one, come on, let's get connected.
The other important aspect is that because it's these kinds of networking products are your identity, they're your social business card, it has to reflect a little bit of you. And if the product was just blank or a single color, we feel that we would have had a lot less attraction in the market because people wouldn't identify with it. What we noticed,
of course, because I also look, why did you choose the blue one, why did you choose the yellow one, and all that. Yeah.
Exactly. And we have a lot of comments and a lot of fun actually when we see people selecting their Poken, seeing how it reflects a little bit of their personality.
Okay, so how many Poken do you offer so far?
We currently have 7 models, but we're coming out with new ones almost on a weekly basis. So there are many new and exciting models coming out, and I think you'll see that.
So you're even driving people to buy new ones. Huh?
Well, some people have asked us actually even to launch kits where you'd have multiple bodies because they figured, depending on what they're wearing, they might want a different one. So that's really...
That's girlish.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really where we wanted to position it as a fashion accessory, as something that you'd want to show off, because it also invites people to connect with you. And again, it's something that in a setting like today is perfect because you really meet a lot of people. You don't necessarily remember their name, but you generally recognize them if you see a photo of them. And in this case, when you Poken them, the Poken also remembers the time and the date of the connection. So you'll always be able to scroll back amongst your friends and see who you met on this day at the startup camp.
I got it, but it is useful, so let's come to a business point. How do you make money with that?
Well, we're selling Pokens through retail, but also through what we call our viral distribution network. We sell them on our website, but not as individual units. We sell them in packs of 12. The point of that is, again, to push people to spread it amongst their friends. And the advantage of buying them on our website is that they come at a big discount, basically a 40% discount as compared to retail, which means that users can buy 12 and then sell them on to their friends, making a little bit of profit. Now that ties into a point system where you make points every time you sell a Poken to someone and every time you Poken them, or every time the Pokens that you've bought Poken other people. the more points you get, the bigger discounts you get. So what we've seen is people really catching on to this model and becoming Poken resellers spontaneously. We have some websites that have popped up in Holland, in France, in Germany, and now in the UK that are reselling Pokens, individual Pokens. And those who set up, the people that set up these websites are actually making good money.
Okay. So you have some sort of a franchise model, if you want to call it like that.
Exactly.
Okay. But important for that kind of nice idea to work is that a lot of people have that little item. So how is your coverage so far?
We're spreading geographically. So what we see is there are pockets, geographical pockets where there are a lot of people that have them. There's several applications actually that were developed by fans to locate Poken users. There's a map, Google Maps, that shows you, that pinpoints where a lot of the Google users, the Poken users are on the Google map.
So Switzerland is of course the biggest point in the map.
Switzerland is a hotbed. The Netherlands is really a hotbed as well these days. Since about 3 weeks ago, it's really taken off, and it's been actually the main news, TV news in Holland declared Poken the word of 2009. So we're pretty excited about that.
That's good attention for you, man.
It is.
Okay, so you are all happy. There are no challenges for you. You are just fine and done, or?
We're never done with the challenges, and when there are no apparent challenges, we create challenges for ourselves. Okay. So we're working on some new products. We're still, of course, working on the business and pushing into new markets, developing all the European countries, but also the US and Canada, and South America as well. But no, we have a product line that's coming out in a few months, and I think you'll see that there are some very, very exciting new things happening on the Poken side.
So for what time did you plan your break even?
Well, that's a tough question, but I think I can be pretty confident in saying that we aim to be break even far sooner than most web startups, because we actually...
Well, what kind of answer is that?
Well, you know, if you rely purely on an online advertising model, it can be very risky, and you never really know when the revenue is generated.
Come on, a date.
In our case, we actually generate the revenue up front, because when the user buys the product, he hasn't even used the service yet, but he buys a product and provides us revenue.
But is it hard to sell it, or...?
We've found that if we find the right environments, it becomes really easy to sell. For example, today at a startup camp where we put them on for sale this morning on a table at the entrance, almost, I'd say, 90% of participants bought a Poken.
Because everybody is also saying, why don't you have a Poken? How can I connect to you if you don't have a Poken?
Yep, we didn't see many real business card exchanges today, but you saw a lot of people Pokening. So it's really a matter of us making sure that in all of these types of events and also on campuses, and we're focusing on campuses to develop the student market, and they're in pockets like that, in specific university campuses or school playgrounds, we see quite high adoption rate.
And how do you ensure that it's not just a playful trend, but the people just try it out because it's new, it's different? How do you make sure that it will last?
Well, innovation is key for that, and I think this is really typical of any company that wants to survive. Innovation is a must, and it must keep coming. So we're innovating all the time. Our website is being improved. We're having a complete redesign of the website, including the services, that's coming online in about 2 weeks. And we have new products coming through to the market in the next few months, and we're quite confident that these products are going to be pursuing with the success that this first one is capturing.
Okay. And now, last but not least, give other startups out there a little hint for being or becoming a successful startup.
Well, I think it's really about getting the right balance between the business model and the product. And in our case, what's been really key is finding the right kind of distribution structure. Seeing as social networking is viral by nature, where one user invites his friends and so on, we set up the equivalent in the real world, and we were really pioneers in this space in saying, well, if this is based in a viral space online, it should also be a viral product offline. And that's why we developed the network marketing scheme that's proving to be quite popular.
Okay, you heard it. Maybe it's an option for you. Thank you.
Thank you.